Okay, welcome to episode 5. Yeah, 5 of why we're not recording this. And where should we start today? To be fair, it's been a interesting few weeks.
Yeah,
we've had guests, not necessarily planned, but it happened, and it was actually nice.
Guests.
Yeah, back to back actually. We just went ham.
We had it all planned out, like maybe a guest this week, maybe not a guest this week.
Yeah, Nemo became a regular.
Yeah, he did. Immediately a regular.
Yeah, to be fair, he is a regular.
Yeah.
That's an interesting word, a regular.
And Think Nemo podcast as well.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah.
So Nemo has a podcast called Think Nemo Podcast.
Do check it out, especially for the, creatives, so-called creatives. Yeah.
I don't even think he's like plugged that at all.
No, not that much anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe at the same, to be fair, maybe he has, but because we know of it, we're not necessarily looking at that, so it misses us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, just in case he has put in the work, because we never know if he has.
Yeah,
then it's like,
but if he hasn't, Think Nemo podcast.
Yeah, but do check it out. It's actually dope. It's actually dope. Actually, he started doing mini clips as well.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
He definitely has the voice for a podcast.
Yeah. I mean, he's been on twice, and that's not it. He's gonna come through again. But no, I guess that was an overview. Actually, we went to Snoop.
We did.
Quite random.
Spontaneous Snoop.
Actually, not random, spontaneous.
Yeah, it was spontaneous Snoop. You got tickets for your birthday, which apologies, Snoop. If you listen to this podcast, Nate did forget about the tickets.
And actually, not even just Snoop. No, let's leave Snoop out for a second. The individual that got me the tickets for my birthday, that's the real MVP.
That's true.
That's the real MVP, because it's just like, it's funny how life works, I guess, in the sense of completely forgot about it, but I had a good time.
Yeah.
When it came through, it was like, so there was no anticipation for it until it was like, oh snap, we're here. Then the energy just went up.
Yeah. So, and I like that when we met, we both had said we spent that day, because you told me about the day, literally the day before. So then we both spent that Thursday just listening to Snoop's wild discography of work. I feel like that's an unspoken kind of ritual. If you go into any concert, it is, isn't it?
You gotta prep yourself.
Yeah, because as soon as I was like, okay, we'll listen to Snoop today because that's just what you do, and then they're not knowing where to start, that made me think like, there's so much Snoop that I did not know existed that I don't know what we're in for at all tonight. And going to a gig kind of blind. Yeah, it's also really good. Yes, it's Snoop Dogg. Everyone knows who Snoop Dogg is.
He's a household
But
name.
Still, there was that thing of like, I don't actually know what you're going to perform here.
Yeah.
So we're all brand new.
Well, to be fair, he was Snoop Lion once upon a time.
Yeah.
So like, he's just got a lot of phases.
Yeah, and he peppered them into the show.
Yeah. And to be fair, there was all like, looking at the crowd, there was all sorts, all ages, from 9. Remember them kids? They were only Snoop. Sorry, so he had to be there because he had poles and everything. So.
Big 4 poles got brought onto the stage, and we were kind of thinking like, is this gonna be? He's gonna put a lid on this? Is going to be a tent, some sort of canopy?
Yeah, like something like really creative.
Yeah,
but no,
they were stripper poles.
It was Snoop. But see, that's what I mean. I feel like that's a different level to reach, whereby someone, when you do something, it's just like, that's just Snoop.
Yeah.
Like,
because it was at the AO, and the last gig that we went to at the... Oh, no, you weren't with us. No, of course we were together. Kendrick.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah.
So the last gig we went to AO was Kendrick.
Kendrick, that was...
Yeah, and so Kendrick obviously has this big setup, so you walk in and you're like, okay.
It's a whole set.
Yeah, it's a whole show. Like, there's dancers, there's everything. I mean, Snoop had dancers.
It was just that whole performance.
It was a whole performance. And then they just dragged these 4 poles onto stage. Yeah. And then immediately it was like, okay.
And Snoop had us waiting. Yeah. But then again...
You did have us waiting.
The answer to that, well, it's Snoop.
Yeah. Like, imagine getting to that level of like, but it's Snoop. Yeah. Oh, he's going to have a little zooty break.
Yeah, like it's straight away. It's like
he's not going to exit the stage. A curtain's not going to come down. He's just going to go to the back of the stage.
And to be fair, that's why I feel like he probably has a contract somewhere. If I can't smoke in there, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
Like there has to be something. 100%. Last time I checked, it was illegal. How is
illegal. Like and you can't smoke indoors, and like you're definitely not at the AO. You can't be smoking, but
There's no smoking signs.
There's still smoking signs everywhere.
And it's not even like Snoop was trying to hide it, because at one point during the show, they're like, "All right, time out. We've got to have a smoke break." And Snoop was sitting right behind the DJ, like, "We can see you."
If we can, I'm going to drop a video into this part of it of just this guy sat at the back of stage looking for a lighter.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, only Snoop. Like, just, nah, he's a living legend.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, shout out Snoop.
Yeah,
Like,
and that video you sent me today from arriving in Glasgow or Edinburgh.
I totally, he's royalty.
No, I know. It's just the level of like presidential.
Yeah, and to be fair, what takes it up a notch is the fact that the Queen had to give him a pardon to come into this country. He had to ring him up like, no, it's Snoop. Let him through. Like, nah, like.
What do you think his ethos on life is? Because his attitude to life is just like...
Well, he had he had an anthem at the end of the show.
Yeah.
It was Young, Wild and Free.
Yeah.
That's it. So I guess that...
I mean, he's 51, but yeah, young, wild and free.
Yeah, because, well,
I can't believe he's only 51, by the way.
Yeah.
If he said he was like getting on to 70, like I'd believe that, not aesthetically, just because of how much this man has done.
He's done a lot since 92.
That's a lot.
Like, since what? He was what, 19, 20?
Yeah.
When he dropped this. Like, Snoop. Now, you gotta respect it. Mm-hmm. Might not like whatever if you don't, but it's Snoop. I don't know what aspect you cannot like.
The interesting thing to me is that, like, cause so obviously there was a smoke break in the middle of the show, which at the time I was kind of like, he's
actually doing it.
He's serious. He's actually doing it.
Actually, to be fair, sorry, shout out Green Lantern.
Yeah, 100%.
I did not see it was him. Like, that's a legend as well. Like,
Green Lantern was the DJ during
that's
break.
A throwback.
It really
I remember downloading it. I mean, like buying music online.
Yeah, buying it, not being on LimeWire or anything like that.
It's not personal. It was the times. It was the times.
You just destroy your computer trying to download mixtapes from LimeWire. Shout out LimeWire. Yeah. But the next day after that, like people at work were like, "Oh, how was it?" And I was like, "Oh, it was great." Like it was just, it was everywhere. Like the show went everywhere. The audience was everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I just thought like, because I don't partake in Snoop's remedies of any kind, doesn't bode well with me. He is high functioning. To say that like there is that level of like I really need to smoke to get that much done, that doesn't
look at the body of work.
Exactly,
that's 3 decades.
Yeah, but weed has been a part of that the whole time, and I just couldn't wrap my head around that. Like because we're just all built differently.
But like not even just that. I think it's also the stigma around certain things. So it's almost as though we like the perception is in us because of the conditioning. So it's like, excuse me. So weed, it does blah 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 blah. So now, whenever you see someone, it's almost as though you're looking for those signs.
Oh, you mean the stereotypes of weed being like lazy, can't really think, munchies, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, 100. But my perspective on that was slightly different, just because it does not compute with me as a substance whatsoever. So I'm not even going down the stereotypical route. I'm going down the route of like mentally, personally, I feel like it just drains. It takes a lot. It takes a lot out of me. So like, I really feel it over the next couple of days after. I'm just like, whoa, like my brain kind of things kind of go dark as well with weed with me. So I just can't even imagine that like level of like high function.
Yeah,
plus that substance. Allegedly. Yeah.
You've seen experiments on YouTube.
Yeah, it was really interesting. But the crowd, though.
Yeah, the crowd. No, to be fair, like in terms of that, on my perspective or perception of it, it's that's one of those things I love about humans, is that we always try. Well, not always, but I try to look at it from a positive perspective. Anyway, it's like he's doing it with that.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be anomalies or whatever.
Of course.
So it's like, just don't abide by the rules. But I'm not saying God to start killing people. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying in terms of explore yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like don't be bound by but like this is probably going to happen. Well, I'm not saying like go out there and start doing drugs and shit like that.
Yeah.
damn it, guys. I was on. I managed like 4 minutes. 4 minutes. But nah, like, ultimately, each to their own. And it's respectable. I guess maybe it's because I'm looking at Snoop with those eyes. Like, yo, I respect your hustle.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, absolutely.
Because he's not necessarily the most lyrical or most whatever, but Snoop, it's almost as though he has the whole package in terms of really cool, seems down to earth.
Yeah, he does seem down to earth.
It could be down to the intoxicants, but
yeah, but it also could just be his
it
personality.
could just be his personality. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he like, I'm sure he's married.
Yeah.
Happily married for a very long
He's got,
time.
what, 3 kids? Probably has actually, I think he has a grandkid.
This is why I quite like him,
He's a
because he keeps
granddad.
himself to a household name. Keeps himself to himself though.
Yeah.
Like, you don't. I don't
To
really
be
know
fair,
any of
the
that
last,
sort of stuff.
Yeah, the last case he had was murder was the case.
Well, murder was the case they gave him. You know.
Yeah, and then look what happened after. He didn't do it. He didn't do it.
Yeah, he keeps himself to himself. Yeah, so he seems down to earth. He's funny as well.
Yeah.
Like, he's just
He's
funny.
He's a whole vibe.
He is.
Nah, like at 51, you gotta respect it.
Yeah. When he referred to the crowd as nephew,
Yeah.
I just thought like,
like,
oh
he
yeah,
is.
he is.
He actually
that
is.
uncle. Like, he really, really is. And he was just mesmerized by strippers on the pole, and that just cracked me up. Like, he would just stop singing at moments and just be like,
I can marry. Anyways, where was I? Sipping on gin and juice. But nah, like it was good. It was good. And to be fair, there's an element of Snoop that is inspiring after all.
Yeah, of course.
So like, I mean, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
it's nice.
And it's just nice to go to a gig as well. I just thoroughly enjoy a gig. I thoroughly enjoy a big room full of people. Because I don't go to like I remember the first football game I ever went to when I was like, whoa, it's this big.
Oh yeah, there's
venues that filled like that, where people just look like one mass of like wiggling.
Yeah,
are fascinating because you can just hone in, especially like where if you sit in like seats and then you kind of watch this crowd in the middle.
I was just going to say
just
that.
hone in on like you could just like watch one person and be like, you've got a whole existence here, and everyone in the room has like a whole existence.
Yeah, everyone has this.
The crowd was just as fascinating because Snoop obviously was late. Obviously, so it just
maybe he was on time on his time.
No, he was late to me. If he probably says that he wasn't late.
To be fair, I thought I thought he was long. I'm not gonna say late because it's like, what time was it meant to be on? I don't know.
We don't know. But it felt like it was earlier than he arrived.
To be fair, he played a clip at the start of him getting ready and he thinking like, what, now? So yeah, he was late actually. Yeah,
he was literally like asking the crowd what he should wear, and it's like, bro, like, just put something on in it. Like, he should have been on 45 minutes ago. Come.
And guess what? He was sitting there having his Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, now is the time? Like, oh,
snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, crowds like that fascinate me.
Actually, sorry,
constantly.
1 second. And I'm interrupting.
That's okay.
But I need to grab my phone just in case I have a message of some sort.
Yes.
Life happens.
Oh, that's considerate.
Okay, we back? Ooh. Yeah, I guess. It's a good thing that we actually started rather than waiting, thinking that we're going to record with the guests. So we just went with Godspeed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it worked out after all.
Yeah, it did. It always does.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Life happens. I can't remember. But it matters not. What matters is Snoop inspiring.
Yeah.
And me wanting to ask you this question, because I don't think we've actually spoke about our, I guess, adventures or extracurricular activities. Mm-hmm. So I thought it would be nice to actually talk about it one day, like in terms of what's been the story. Like, not that I'm interviewing anyone, but yeah.
Rephrase the question.
Okay, the question is, those were fast questions. Just building it up. I get sidetracked.
When you look me in the eyes for that, so I was like,
But I guess my question is, unlike some of us, right, in terms of when I say us in Slang Collective, unlike all of us, you went straight in to the art.
Yes.
And it's something that you've been, well, it seems as though, based on me knowing you, it's always been there. So I guess my question is, what has been the journey in terms of how did it start? How and why, I guess, if there's a why anywhere. And
Okay.
how has the journey been in terms of, do you get sort of encouragement in between? Okay, here's the thing. Well, you're probably going to think I'm weird. I don't necessarily believe in star signs or whatever.
Yeah.
But whenever I read those things about, let me say, Capricorns or whatever, I find certain things like, it is a coincidence. But ultimately, it's almost as though it's there just to encourage you, if that makes sense.
100%.
Like whenever you're in a rut and you read up about what you're supposedly supposed to be, it's also, it's like, actually, you know what? I guess I'm on track, if that makes sense. Like affirmations.
Yeah.
That's how I typically read them anyway.
That is so weird that you just brought star signs up randomly, just on a tangent. We're going to come straight back. Went for lunch with my dad today.
Yeah.
We were just sitting, chilling. Said, "Oh, me and Nate went to Snoop Dogg the other night," and then he was like, "Oh, blah blah blah." Don't know how we got there, but he was like, "What star sign is Nate?" And I was like, "What kind of question is that? What?" I promise. I was like,
sorry, out of everyone,
who could ask that question
dad,
today, my dad was like, "What star sign is Nate?" And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't actually know. And now I'm guessing Capricorn because that's the person you went to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's what I'm somewhat familiar with. But don't ask me anything.
No,
about
yeah, 100%.
Because it's only
Sagittarius.
Information and then whatever that may mean. But once again, it's affirmations. Because if I hypothesize and say, "Oh, it probably means this and that," I can find that hypothesis in there.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to your journey in terms of how has it been. So, along the way, as far as me anyway, there's certain things that whenever I look back, it makes me chuckle. In the sense like, man, what made you do that? You know what? You're funny. Like,
yeah.
Because that's a kid in me. I like to keep some sort of relationship with them. It's, like, it's almost as though wherever I am, it's like, let's make it interesting. It's almost like I gotta reflect. And then sometimes it's like, let's make it interesting.
Yeah.
Fuck it, why not?
Yeah. Like an elastic band of memory. Just shoot something.
Like sometimes like, you know what? Let's just dive in. Fuck it, why not? We've done it before. Remember that? That was sick. Remember what happened after? You know I'm doing it. So anyways, I guess I hope you get the question. I get the question. It's a long question.
I get the vibe of the question.
Yeah.
My creative journey. How far back should we go? Okay, yeah, we'll go. So I was always fascinated by fashion. Like that was always my thing as a kid. But not like, it was always fashion design. So like I would be up like super late at night waiting for like any fashion show that dropped to like hit YouTube or hit some kind of website, and I would just sit and watch like a whole show. So I was just fascinated by fashion designers because it's not what people wear. Like it was like the idea behind certain shows that just fascinated me. Like the whole thing is just a work of art.
That's very interesting.
So like the show, like every single element of it just absolutely wildly fascinated me. And then I was obsessed by street fashion bloggers. Like Harajuku street fashion just blew my mind. So I was like, oh, you can wear whatever you want, like whenever you want. Like it can be like another expression of yourself. And I just absolutely love that. So I'm going to shoot forwards loads. And I didn't do art. Actually, no, I'll shoot forwards further than that. No, we'll go back. I didn't do art at GCSE or any kind of creative subject.
Really? I actually thought you did.
No.
Like based on, assumptions made somewhere along the way.
Yeah, I didn't do art at GCSE because I was talked out of doing it because my older brother did art.
That's what I guess ultimately that's where also the question was going, in the sense of, I rate we're gonna continue on, but based on my perspective, it's like, it's almost as though you just went straight. Yeah. No messing about. Even with parents and dynamics that, there's always dynamics.
Yeah, of course.
Like not even just from the parents, but like adults, like
from everything. As soon as you start understanding language, then you start taking on people's opinions, and you start.
It's like, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, and then certain things you're like, is this what I should be doing? Or anyways,
yeah.
Sorry.
So I didn't do art at GCSE, and I remember my art teacher saying to me, "You're a fool." He was like a really strict guy. He just came up to me straight up. I was like, "You're a fool for not doing art," and I was like, "Okay." So shoot forwards that really like made me really sad. So when I went to college, I was like, "Okay, let's just do all of the art." So in college, I did art, textiles, and graphic design, which is a lot. And also I did an extra one because I'm just a nerd. So I did English Lit. too.
Yeah.
Which was just, it's the same as art, just language, words. Like I loved all of that. So I did those. And then, I always knew I was going to be a designer. Like that's what I wanted to do since I was a kid, since I knew what fashion designer was. And then just that word of designer, I was like, you can put anything in front of that.
Yeah.
Like you can do anything with that. So every single element of design I've always been obsessed with. And then I went to, so I did that in college. And then after I did college, because I'd done fashion, so I'd done textiles, graphics and art. Yeah. I still didn't know which one to choose. So I still thought I was going to be a fashion designer. So I applied to Central St. Martin's, their foundation course. And then I got there and was like, oh, this is hella fashion. Like I'd made a kimono in college and my tutors had tried to talk me out of making a kimono. And I was like, I'm stubborn as hell.
Yeah, but I like it.
Like I'm making a kimono.
I rock them. So
it was so hard. Like it was so hard to do. It wasn't actually fun doing it at all. Because it was like, it's such a hard garment to make. Made it. Had a horrible time making it. Yeah. And graphics was like the subject that I go to. That I was just
because the
like,
fit has to drape nicely.
Yeah, everything has to hang right. And like I'd done a kimono sleeve.
Because it has to be smooth.
Yes, it does. It has to fit here, but then it has to have so much weight here.
Yeah, but so enough not to sort of lose the shape
exactly.
of it.
You still need the wing here. And so the first like 3 that I'd made, the wings were way too small. Yeah. And so like I'd literally been like, because you have to make like these dummy versions.
Because also like, even mobility.
Exactly.
Sorry, that's just
everything. So the construction of it, I did not enjoy actually constructing it, but I'd step back and look at it and be like, there's not enough depth, there's not enough weight here. Yeah. And I drove my tutors insane, but we got on so well, but they were just like look, when you move it, as soon as you lift it, it's crinkling here. It's not staying smooth. Sitting right. Yeah. Like, and then when you lift it up, it shouldn't feel like there's any sort of pull here.
Yeah, there's no tool. Like, it should glide.
Yeah, 100%. It should just be an extra, it should be like water. Yeah. It's hard to sew water.
So I don't think you can. But if you freeze it, it's gonna melt. Sorry.
So then along the way, I like picked up all these skills. Like I know how to sew. I know how to use a computer. All things like fine art, I absolutely love because you can just make a hot mess and then justify that hot mess. Like there's just, and then
you're
English
gonna find
as well.
something, whatever you're looking for, it's in there.
And then English peppered in with that made me be able to like, oh, here's this bank of words that you can use to describe a thing.
And then now you can shape it whatever way you want and include the words.
Exactly. And then so I went and did an art foundation, and along that way I still thought I was going to be a fashion designer until so in an art foundation, I don't know if it's changed now, but when I did it, you study each subject. So you do fashion design, you do illustration, you do like a bit of photography, fine art and graphic design. And then like week 3 for me was like, we just did fashion and I just hated it.
Oh,
and then,
really?
Yeah, hated it. I really didn't have a good time. It was just stressful. It just stressed me out. Like I love the idea of styling and clothes, but making them and constructing the things, I just really didn't enjoy doing that. Like any more stab wounds from a little tiny pin, and I was just like, ugh. And then I did graphics, and I just thought, oh, this is it. Like this is the thing that I want to be doing. Like this is just make things visually delicious. Combine image and combine text.
Yeah, bring them not together. Too much technical, but
the amount of things you can do with image, image and text is everything. So that was when I just thought, like, this is the one for me. And you can even bring fashion into that. You can bring anything you want to the table with that. Yeah. So
to be fair, we have a collaboration pending, but
100%. So graphics it was, and then studied graphics, and then. From there, like when I was a student, they teach you the rules of graphic design, which is absolutely incredible. But then as a student, I feel like you're just constantly trying to, like, the grade is there. So you're just worried about the grade all the time.
Right. Rather than expressing. Yeah. So it's almost as though you're trying to conform.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're trying to conform. Yeah, but you're conforming to an idea that's unknown.
Exactly.
It's all made up in the brain.
So like I'm being like driven in this direction. That I'm not even aware of that I'm being driven in that direction. Yeah. And I'd look around at my peers and like they were all, they seemed to know what they were doing. Now I teach graphic design. So I'm looking at it from like a totally different perspective. And it's like, everyone's just guessing what's going on. And all students are sitting there thinking that everyone knows what's happening. They don't know what's happening.
They don't. But here's the thing though. I feel like that's something that we can't hide from. Like certain information, you're going to receive it. But if you're not ready to process it, you're not going to process it. It's like, I'm not saying like these are the secrets to do whatever, but like you can tell them that, but subconsciously it's like, no, I need to conform to get the good grade. But I don't know what I'm conforming to. But then subconsciously you're suppressing who you actually are. oh, you're suppressing your excellence, but like you can tell them this, like, no,
Yeah.
express yourself. But they're like, I think they want me to express myself this way.
Yeah, exactly. And so I tell every single one of my students, every single student that comes through the door, your grade is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to throw that out there. Do with that what you will. It's irrelevant in the bigger picture of you trying to get a job or you trying to do whatever it is you want to do. However, I'm not naive to the fact that this is going to be something that impacts your, like, as you move forward.
Yeah.
I'm just there to help you remember that it's not the thing you should be striving for.
Yeah.
But a lot of students still do, because mum and dad are going to turn around and be like, okay, so what grade did you get? Was this worth doing it all?
Yeah.
And again, that's just conforming to something else, blah, blah, blah. So in terms of the creative journey, I don't think my creative journey really started to like take form until like after I graduated.
But I guess that was when exploration.
Exploring was the whole, like, I didn't realize that was that's the point.
Yeah.
Everything that I'd done up until that point was just explore, figure out what you like, what you don't like, what just fascinates you, what makes you uncomfortable. Yeah. And then now I'm like, what,
where do you feel most at peace?
Yes. Like, what brings you joy?
Yeah.
Like, what brings you joy is such a hard question. It's a question we don't really ask that much. But like, in terms of design and creation, what brings you joy is so important, because if you do like a map of that and then you kind of draw these arrows that shoot off it.
But I think
you can really start, you can do whatever you want, like whatever you want to do. And
but I feel like as humans, well, myself included, because I am one. It's the fact that I think it's the fear and sometimes not knowing what we want to try. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, if I try this, how is it going to look though? Oh, if I try this, I'm not going to be able to. Because once again, the conditioning, well, to be fair, even circumstances whereby it's like, yo, you can't do that, that's not going to work out. Yeah. So you deter from that, like, okay, I guess I'll listen to you, and you told me this is going to work out, so I'll go this way, which is... Yeah.
I am very honest with how stubborn I am. Like, I'm that's not something I try and fight at all. So if someone says to me that's not going to work, best believe I'm still going to try it.
Oh, if I'm wrong,
I'm wrong with that, like if you were right and it doesn't work, then I had to just know for my own.
Yeah, I had to find out.
I had to find out myself, and that's another thing I'm trying to teach the students is like, if as your tutor I'm saying I don't think that's going to work, but prove me wrong. I love being like, prove me wrong that will work, and I'm not going to assume if you're describing an idea, I'm not going to assume that we're on the same page when we're visualizing it in our head. So I'm like, show me that tomorrow. Like the idea you just had, show me that tomorrow, and then we can talk about it way more tomorrow. But like, sketch it out or show me in an hour what you actually
find
mean by
different
that.
ways of communicating. Say that, don't just dwell on one.
Just try the thing. Try the thing, and if it's not working out, then boom.
Well, what have you got to lose?
Exactly? What have you got to lose? Even if you do something, if you design something, and I'm coming from this from a very educational lens. I'm like, my experience is very like uni orientated, and then teaching now. And teaching now, I feel like I'm bringing a lot of the stuff I learned way past growth. Like I learned the fundamentals of design in school, and then everything else, like not the importance, they're both important, but like the way more important stuff I learned after graduation and getting things wrong. And so like, my whole thing is like that. Even if you study a subject, and I just gave a talk last night actually. Yeah, about the same thing. But like the whole point of that talk last night was you are not your subject. Yeah. So just because you like study this one thing doesn't mean you have to do that. Like you can branch off and do whatever you want to. Yeah. I don't even really like the fact that in art school like the subjects are so divided into like this is this area and this is this area and this is this thing.
And then at some points like choose.
Yeah. Now now you chose this one. Now,
stick by it.
Yeah, now you need to stick by it. And the uni has an agenda of like, we need you to get a job in this field. Otherwise it looks like we have failed. I hate it. Yeah. I hate it.
Societal
Do standards. What brings you joy. And in order of doing that, you need to have some sort of plan in place. And because we're creative humans, we kind of go with the flow. And my thing is only dead fish go with the flow. So in order to do the thing that you want to do, you have to kind of map it out. My map is as vague as I'm going to own some land. I'm going to build a house on it. And in that, whatever that house is, I'm just going to be able to make exactly how I want to make. Money will be no object at that point. That's the bit that just needs figuring out a little bit. Yeah. And so I know I'm heading to this direction here, and I'm here. And because I have this thing that's the target, everything that I do, every move I make can still go off on a tangent, but in still...
Remember what I said earlier when we were talking? I said, you know what? I'm not ready to start writing things down because I'm not at that checkpoint yet.
Okay.
But I can see it on the horizon.
It can be vague, though.
But see, here's no, I completely agree with you as well, because I feel like, well, based on, that's why sometimes I just chuckle. Like I said, I make the connection with the kid in me anyway, or the old self or young self.
Yeah.
Is like, whenever, like, I almost lost my train of thought. I think I'm losing it. Oh, crap. It's lost.
You've got it.
It'll come back.
Writing things down.
Writing things down. So the writing things down, it's like, I'm not there yet. So you speaking of, there's that goal or there's that thing. So as far as me, it resonates because it's like almost every decision I make is directing me there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that, like, in terms of, going back to what you said about the plan being vague, I feel like there's some similarity there because it does resonate. And that's kind of how things are with me. That's why sometimes when certain things happen, I chuckle to myself like, shit, remember so that's why you were doing
about
that?
this way back when.
So that's why you did that. But anyways, that's why I was curious about your journey. And ultimately, I think on my side, it's just been do what I want and just do it. Because ultimately, I feel like whatever I want to do, the intention is for that.
What is your that?
My that is financial freedom to do what I want. And me doing what I want, you can take whatever you want out of that. But
what do you want? So financial freedom, cool. Like, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
What's that thing that you do?
What's the thing that I do? It's me living off doing what I want.
But what is that?
What is that? It's several things.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy doing, I take photos, I make clothes. Now I'm doing this.
Yep.
And so all those things, I feel like, once again, going back to just do it. If it gives you joy, if it gives you whatever. So I want to live off what gives me joy, essentially.
Yeah.
And some of that is, like, there's a lot into it, like in terms of, it's too vague, but it's almost as though you gotta say to believe it, or you gotta say it to understand it. Or you gotta know me to essentially understand, you know what, he's most likely gonna do this, or he might do that.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I feel like I'm still in the journey of getting to know self.
Yes.
And that's nonstop. And the certain things, that's why sometimes it's like certain things, when I look back, it makes me chuckle. And then it's like, cool, you know what, you're on the right track. Because guess what? There's a seed somewhere along the way from trying different things, meeting different people, all these experiences. So,
So take us on your journey then. Like, when did you realize that you had this?
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So, when did it start? Like, I feel like a lot of it is going to be for the book. That's going to be 10 years, but anyways, that's a different subject. But, okay, we talking creative journey. Okay, let's see, what did it look like? It looked like me as a kid. I used to draw a lot of sneakers. And from drawing sneakers, I used to draw, like, believe it or not, I know I don't use I don't write as much, but I used to draw quite a lot when I was young. Like, to be fair, my dad could draw. So I thought, wow, Dad, that's pretty cool. You can draw too. So anyways, I used to draw pretty much cars, sneakers, and then grew up, sports, blah, blah, blah. And then I started thinking, imagine I could design the kids or whatever. And then it was kind of, I know what this would look like. So I'd sketch I would sketch almost everything that I liked, I would draw. Yeah. Like, I was a kid, like, I got new boots for football. I'm going to draw them. Nice. And typically I'll draw from just looking at something like that. That used to be how I used to draw quite a lot. And then I'd be like, freak it. Like, okay, from there, I'm going to add this, going to add that. If they had this, I had that. Yeah. Cool. So time goes by, blah, blah, blah. 13, maybe, in school, I had some art thing, like make whatever you want to make. And up until then, to be fair, even now, I always just customize my clothes. I just freak them whatever way. So I decided to make a t-shirt for the art thing. So I did, and it was actually, I got all the pants, drew it out, blah, blah, blah. It was actually a tiger with don't ask a tiger. I
It
like
was you,
tigers.
yeah.
Like, so it was a tiger at the back, and then it had four, like the paws like on each corner, on either side, and then a little one there. Actually, I think it's somewhere in the bedroom.
Of course,
Yes,
you
I
still
still
have
have
it.
it.
Of course,
I
you
still
still
have
have it.
To be fair, someone uses it as pajamas.
Nice.
But yeah, it's so. Anyways, see those things. So sorry. Fast forward to uni.
Yeah.
Throughout my life, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you know, I like my clothes, and every time like I cut them, I do whatever with them, and that's always been me. Anyways, go to uni. So okay, I guess that's academic side. Academic side, it was almost like, oh yeah, he's smart, because I was like, yeah, I had brains.
Yeah,
I could like recall information. I had a good memory and blah blah blah. So yeah, obviously throughout school, I'm not saying it was a breeze, but I don't think there was a grade or a year that I found difficult.
Yeah. Flex.
Like, no, it's not. It's not.
People say
No,
it is.
no. How?
Not an ego one. It just is, isn't it?
No, it's all a matter of
Not a grade
perspective.
that you struggled at. That's a nice way of moving.
No.
It's not an ego flex. It's just a flex in terms of like, that's a nice way to have moved through school, because if you get struggles, it's just super hard and it can really dampen your spirits and whatnot.
Yeah, but see, okay, here's the thing. I feel like
I put a pin in the previous conversation because we're tangenting right now, so
like,
I've got it.
Also, I feel like, see, this was another one that I was going to get into in terms of your journey, was because we're the complete opposite. And like other conversations are going to be for the future, but we're the complete opposite. But for today, we're going to look at siblings and human interaction.
Okay.
So what I mean by that is, I don't even know where I was going with this one, but yes, siblings. I don't have siblings. So it's almost as though for me, one of the reasons why I didn't feel like anything was a struggle, it's because like, I felt like in order to make friends, it's almost as though you had to be good at something. That was my perspective.
Okay.
So I ended up being almost above average on a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
Put me anywhere.
Yeah.
What sport we playing? I will beat your ass. What grade did you get?
So it's like a tactical thing in order.
Not even like, I feel like it was subconscious.
Yeah.
That here's the thing. Let me say we're out there, kids are picking, who's going to be my team, who's going to be not, blah, blah, blah. Usually, because I don't know if I was socially awkward or whatever, but it's like, all right, cool. There's these kids, blah, blah, blah. They're cool. Some of them know each other, blah, blah, blah. And usually, because I played a lot, like sports or do whatever on my own, whenever I came in a crowd, it was like I was kind of decent at it.
Yeah.
And they got a reaction from people like, oh, so that people want to hang out with me? Like, okay, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
All right, cool, we can hang out. And it was almost like subconsciously, I ended up just being good at things.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I'm not sure if I was trying to be good or I wasn't trying to be good, but like I just ended up being reasonably good at most things that I attempted.
I mean, not having siblings probably was like a bit of fuel, subconsciously or not.
Yeah.
It probably was the fuel to be like, okay, well, you're gonna need to have. You're gonna need to.
You gotta have something because these are not your brothers. You're not related.
Yeah.
So it's almost as though it's kind of like the foundation to friendship.
Yeah. Or
even breaking the ice.
Yeah.
With human interaction, you just gotta be good because they didn't come together. Like those two, they came together. They're siblings. They know each other.
Yeah.
Me, I'm at the park. I'm just me and my ball. All right, you know what? I know what I do. I'm on my own. I'm doing this. I'm doing around the world doing tricks.
I'm
still playing with my ball right now. Like that's what I'm doing. And then someone's like, "Oh, can I play with you?"
Yeah.
Sure. Oh yeah, you're pretty good. Come join us.
It's totally different because we're so young as well. Like the kids and siblings, like that. It's so they're forming years, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's actually really interesting.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I wonder what in your lens, because in mine it was just like, do what I want, but obviously, it's not at the expense of anyone.
Yeah.
So I was never, thankfully, I was never really bullied. But I've had, obviously, as kids, we have altercations. Yeah. But I was never one to be bullied or anything of that form, which is great. But if you did, I just think I just did what I want.
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas I have two brothers, older, younger, so I'm the middle child.
Yeah.
That is very forming in terms of there's a lot of masculine energy around.
And there's a lot of information.
Obviously, like super tight. Well, we're all super tight, all of us. But like as two brothers, I was kind of like, okay, like we have different interests. Like you two going to play PlayStation. You're going to like
I'm going to go
do
find
all
a
these
hobby.
things. Yeah. So I'm just going to try and like, I'm just going to match your energy. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to match your energy, and to be fair, I have no complaints about that.
Yeah, so you get in where you fit in.
Yeah, knew how to fight.
Yeah,
all that good stuff. But yeah, like it was very much like, especially my older brother. It's like I'm gonna follow. Like me and my younger brother definitely followed in my older brother's footsteps, because I feel like that's just what you. Yeah, because that's just kind of like, I feel like that is the natural move. That's
an example that you can actually just touch.
Exactly.
You can relate
so there's
to.
something right there, and it's like, okay, well, you did this, and then, but I'm also gonna learn from your mistakes, because you've just got into so much trouble for that.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna do any of that. So like I can just swerve. I'm learning from like other experiences that are happening, or like this didn't work out for you at school. So like I'm not gonna do that either. But like that makes you really cool. So there's just a lot of influence.
I feel like so with that aspect, I feel like my influence was, well, not even just was, it was words. I think like my parents once said when I was young, it's like, yo, those people out there, they're in your blood, they're in your family, so they'll leave you standing. But one thing and one thing only is, don't get into something you can't get out of. Because they can ring their brothers, they can ring whoever to get out of, but don't get into something you can't get out of. So that kind of brought an analytical aspect to the way I approach things.
It kind of forces you to have a lot of tactic then, doesn't it? You really have to be, with that in mind, don't get into anything, which is amazing advice. Don't get into anything you can't get out of, because you don't have someone that you can just be like, okay.
Like that's what I mean.
It means you have to just monitor, like, just kind of watch what you do and watch your move, and you'd be tactical with each move you make, which I think I can see in you now, actually.
To be fair, like a good example is right now. To be fair, maybe a lot of people can relate for whole different reasons. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but if I'm anywhere or sitting in a room, I like to see the exit, or like right now, I see the whole view. Behind me, I know I've got a wall, and I know what's going on there. Like I don't have to worry too much. I've got my back
to an open door. Anything could be happening.
Yeah.
Call the brothers, it'll be fine.
See, I don't got that. I gotta stand on my own 10 toes. So
that's. I'm gonna notice that so much more about you as well.
To be fair,
But it's an interesting one, and I feel like it's. I mean, look at the place that we're sitting in. That's yours now as well. I feel like you move with intention.
Well, yeah. If you need to know.
Compliment, just
no. Well, that thing. Yeah, I just thought it's a statement. But like, I feel like going back to my journey, then it's almost like I just had I was just trying whatever I wanted or doing whatever I wanted, because I felt like, I don't want to say I'm not scared of anyone, but I was like, in any situation, well, touch wood, hopefully I never get into a situation I can't get out of, but it sounds like I'm always calculated. But ultimately, the journey has been somewhat calculated, just going the direction that I want to go to reach where I'm able to actually not worry about anything but expressing myself and doing what I want.
Yeah.
Because growing up, I just did whatever I want. Hence why, by trade, 9 to 5, I'm a civil engineer. And that came about because I somewhat had the brains. And then I thought, you know what? Problem solving, I'm pretty good at that. Yeah. It comes easy to a certain extent. Yes, I'm not saying like being a civil engineer is easy. Maybe there's
a lot of skills, but very specific set of skills.
I feel like it comes with understanding, just like anything. Would I say it's hard? I don't like calling anything hard. So it just is.
Yeah.
So anyways, going back to that. So it was like, cool. And I like that going back to design. And I used to I like designing things.
Yes.
From just by default, just doing. Like, what else are you going to do as a own kid? Like there's nothing else to do. I've got stationery. I'm a draw stuff.
Did you play, were you a gamer as a kid? Did you play games?
I was, but at the same time, because I was really good at sports, I had a lot of friends.
Okay.
So anytime
sports
I'm chilling.
Is key, isn't it?
Sports is underrated in terms of how it helps. It helps you navigate certain spaces. And it somewhat also makes you popular in the sense of, remember saying about how I've never been bullied. Sometimes I've been in spaces where you're like, oh, okay, this is not really a conducive environment, and I know I'm going to bounce. The next thing is like, oh, snap, I know you. Like, what the? Why are you here? And also, growing up in Belfast, whereby it's like, only black kid, really? So they are going to recognize you? So it's like, oh, yeah. It's him. So like in certain spaces that help, certain spaces it didn't. But once again, it's like, I gotta stand on your own 10 toes, and you gotta know what's what, and you gotta read the room.
So you studied civil engineering. Did you have this, because growing up in Belfast and being like one of a kind, can we say? Did you have like this desire to leave? Like, did you was there anything that was it like, oh, maybe I'll leave and like go to?
Not necessarily, because to be fair, even now, there isn't a set place that I'm going to say, you know what, this is where I want to live the rest of my life. I feel like the world is too big for me to do that. And I feel like I would be shortchanging future self by locking that subconscious somewhere. So I don't know. So did I have the desire to leave? I had the desire to do what I want. It's funny because whenever I actually got into uni, my mom didn't know. And I just rang her that day. I'm like, okay, so mom, I got into uni and I'm moving to England. Yeah. Well, okay, just like that. And then obviously told my partner, work girlfriend at the time, like, oh yeah, see, I think on Monday, I'm flying, I'm going to uni. Like, what? Yeah, I got in. Like,
where did you study again?
Bolton.
Bolton.
Yeah. It's like, got into uni, so I'm going there. Like, all right, cool. Funny enough, I did apply with Stefan. So, like Stefan and I applied Manchester Met, because obviously, even throughout the application process, even with Prince as well, I knew Prince applied in Birmingham. Like we all applied. It was just like, you know what? I'm gonna move too. But as far as where specifically, time will tell.
Okay.
I was like, time will tell, and let me explore this. So, anyways, boom, get to uni. Do uni, obviously, meet the homie first day, like Lawrence, that's how we met.
Nice.
And we were both late.
So anyways, both late and both had no pens?
No, he had it, I didn't. I'm the one who came unprepared with just a notepad and my backpack. And
who shows up with no pen on day one? But anyway, carry on with your journey.
I did. I mean, a lot of things happened that morning, and then I forgot certain things. I mean, it's uni. Anyways, boom, Lawrence, we kick it, and then time goes by. I'm still always just cutting my clothes, cutting them up, doing my regular things, still fix them up. Funny enough, I used to cut hair in uni because I could cut hair.
Oh, you cut Lawrence's hair, right?
Yeah, I used to cut. Yeah, funny enough, like first year, like I had niggas coming in to my halls, like, yo, I come, I'll do it. Anyways, so fast forward to maybe 2013, 14, and this was the time whereby everyone, and I mean, okay, maybe I'm exaggerating. I'll give respect to the other people. People were wearing the T-shirts that had a girl on them.
Was she wearing a hat?
Yeah, it was all different.
Was it Rihanna?
Yeah, it was Rihanna. It was all different.
Oh my God, I totally forgot about that.
I hated that so much because
every shop had the girl on the shirt.
It also stopped me from cutting up my clothes because it pretty much covers the whole thing. It's like, what am I going to do with that? What? Just cut the sleeves, nothing else. Like I can't
leave the face.
Even if I want to add a pocket, it's just going to look odd. Like what is that? So
your canvas was abused a little bit.
Yeah, a lot. So, anyways, so coincidentally, Lawrence and I just like honestly, it's almost like from first day of uni, we're all together until the very last day.
Yeah.
To be fair, until now.
Yeah.
It hasn't ended. So until now, I mean, we're business partners. I mean, shout out Slang Clothing. But yeah, so that's when actually Slang Clothing started, really. Like that's when the birth of Slang, should I say, not just Slang Clothing, but the birth of Slang started. And going back to the clothes, it's like throughout my journey, I've always done that.
Yeah.
And it just makes me laugh. Now, coming back to cameras, growing up, I don't know, maybe it's because I was the only black kid, one of the only black kids. In Belfast or in Northern Ireland, I was doing a whole lot of extra work.
Extra work?
Yeah, as in extra work, as in like supporting artists, as in being in different shows.
How have we not talked about this before?
Because it never comes up until
But you know
now.
I've done extra work as well.
Oh, have you?
This
Wow! Small world.
So
Small
random.
world. Yeah, I know.
I mean, huge world, but yeah, okay.
Well, it's actually small now.
Carry on.
But yeah, so actually, here's another funny one. Remember, I was just giving off about Rihanna. I'm not giving off about Rihanna, but I'm just talking about that style when everyone's wearing a girl.
Yeah.
The last extra work I did was Rihanna music video.
What?
That's a funny part.
You're in a Rihanna music video.
Yeah.
Don't just say yeah.
No.
Like so. Yeah. Which one?
The one that was shot in Belfast. It was, to be fair, outside of that, the dude that was in it, Dudley, he's also in, what do you call this? He's
I feel like
also
I'm going
in,
to totally get it totally wrong. But are you talking about Derry Girls, or am I talking about Will? Because Will was in Derry Girls, right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if Will was.
Will was in Derry Girls.
Okay, that's it.
Like there's an episode where, like, when you watch it back, there's Will. You'll meet Will at some point. Will's in Derry Girls.
Oh, that's it. But yeah, anyways, like I was gonna say, Dudley, like he was a cool dude. He was playing Rihanna's interest in that music video. So yeah, that was the last extra work I did.
Well, what song?
Love in a Hopeless Place. It has those lyrics. Fell in love.
Yeah, what's it called? We'll put it here.
Yeah, it's gonna be somewhere. But yeah, that song.
Right, okay.
The ding, 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 ding. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, okay.
That one. Yeah, so that was the last one. No, sorry, I just made the connection with me beefing with clothing when everyone was wearing their Rihanna t-shirts.
Well, if we're talking about extra work, maybe it's not even one up. Okay, well, I did some extra work, ended up in Morbius.
As in,
Really, yeah, the movie,
sick.
the film. However, was in Morbius, all of that kind of stuff. Jared Leto, something, whatever. Went to go and watch Morbius. I'm not in it.
oh yeah, like it'd be
I
like that.
spent days
It'd be like that.
freezing for that. Literally
It'd
just
be
like
like
in
that. It'd be
the
like
tin
that.
foil, looking like a little turkey the whole time.
It'd be like that.
Yeah,
and to be fair, like I had that experience with. Have you seen Pineapple Express?
Yeah, I've seen Pineapple Express.
Yeah, that one. That happened to me. Like even to this day. But my mom says she saw me. Like,
But it's your mum, isn't it? Like, of course she saw
like,
you.
Mom,
Like,
Mom, I really like this movie. To be fair, like outside that, I enjoyed actually being around those people, like the James Franco and all them. Like they were really cool. Like they were.
how
really,
have we never talked about this before? Like, this is actually ridiculous.
Because I don't.
Because
It never comes up.
It's just never come up in conversation in however many years. But okay, cool. But for you in cameras, being in those environments, especially with the level we're talking about now.
So now this is where I'm like, what?
cameras. It's a whole.
Because I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
and
it's behind the scenes, isn't it?
Yeah. I was, and I was really just quite curious most of the time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I do enjoy being in front of it as well, and blah 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 blah. Fast forward to where we are today. So that's what I mean. As far as me, I just make those connections and then I'm like, man, you funny like that. Right. But anyway, so yeah, I guess that's been the creative journey. Now we're here, clothing line, obviously, and then I shoot from time to time. Yeah, that's been their creative journey. But going back to design is being a civil engineer. That's why I'm not mad at it, because it's something that kind of, I don't want to say fell on my lap, because it's.
But it made sense.
It made sense. It made sense.
Yeah,
like it made sense, and I'm not even hating on it, because guess what? One thing that I always wanted as well is leave. I want to leave my mark. I know it sounds very. Yeah. Like I know it sounds very. What do you call this? I don't know. I don't know what the word is. There's words out there that describe that, but I just want to leave a mark. Once again, I was the kid that would vandalize and say blah 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 was here.
Yes.
So to be fair, yeah, I was a kid that did a lot.
I think maybe I don't want to assume anything about anyone, but like, do we all not want to leave our mark in some sort of way? But
I'd like to think
maybe
so.
some of us are a little bit more timid in terms of that approach, in terms of leaving your mark.
I feel like
I don't think we're
not in a position to charge.
We can't really talk on that because I don't think we're very timid. Like we're blatantly trying to leave marks.
I think that's a matter of perspective. Because, okay, do you think it's obvious that we're trying to do that?
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, 100%. We're recording a podcast as we speak. I think.
Oh yeah, like I told you, this is therapy, but sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's the fact that we want to document the things that we do.
Yeah.
Like we're documenting everything we do. We're
And to be
documenting
fair,
conversations.
and by the way, leaving the mark isn't necessarily leaving the mark for someone to be like, yo, he left a mark. The bigger one is for me to feel like I did something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I mean. Me living off what I enjoy doing comes with other dreams within that sort of
course.
realm.
And to do something from my perspective with that, I would like to do something which is like when I'm old and grey and have grey dreadlocks. Oh God, they're gonna be so long. But for that human, I want like it to make sense for what the younger version. I've been making kimonos as well. Like I
nailing them in like a nice fit.
They hang right, you know. But I want like the younger version of myself to be like, if she could see that older version of myself to be like, cool.
Exactly. That's why sometimes like not that I'm seeking approval.
I'm seeking approval from myself. Like I actually am, because as a kid I always knew I wanted to be design. I feel like I had certainties on things. Like I knew what I liked and I knew what I didn't like.
And just expressing myself.
Yeah.
That's why it goes back to the kid wanting to be good at things. It's like a form of expression.
Exactly. And so that version of yourself, to see the older version of yourself, to be like,
did you know that?
Because you would know.
I laid the foundation. If only you knew.
You'd be able to look back at the younger version of yourself and know that there would be like a sense of approval. Yeah. Like right now in my job, I feel like the younger version of myself would be like, really? Like this, okay, this is just a little chapter. This is like a little. I
feel like that's what younger me would say. Like,
100%.
It's a chapter, but keep the fire.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, okay, you're doing this now because we're both 9/5ers, like right now.
Yeah.
And the younger version of us is like, okay, it's not cool. I get what the trajectory is.
And also the younger self should be proud in the sense of it got the security.
Of course, it's a smart move right now. Younger us would understand that.
To be fair, not even just that. It's like we satisfied Mama's dream.
Yeah. Tick.
Yeah, we ticked Mama's dream. That's cool. Okay. We know that Mama can ring Mama anytime.
100%.
Mama's no once again.
So now what's the next move? This I feel like is a really interesting stage of our lives. Because we've just pointed to this here. We both this is what we're working towards. So the next move has to be a very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Is it putting too much pressure and expectations on it?
No, I think it's wildly important that we do have some form of pressure on it. Otherwise, we run stagnant. That's just the thing that I'm so scared of. Is that like, what if I'm in this job forever? Like, what if I end up having a retirement party? And I'm like 68. Oh my goodness. No, thank you. No, thank you. I cannot. And I'm saying that as fact. And maybe people watching it would be like, oh, well, maybe people would disagree with that. I don't give a shit. I don't want that at all.
I feel like in the sort of space of life, in my spirit, it just doesn't sit, right?
Yes.
Like that's it. I'm just going to leave it there. Mm-hmm. Granted, the self and right now the present, the flesh appreciates it because, I'm comfortable in terms of, I'm secure. Mm-hmm. I'm secure. So that's done. And that's what I mean about the civil engineering side. I'm not even sweating it because it's something, I know I'm using words that are like, maybe some people find offense. I don't know. But what I'm saying is it's something that fell on my lap in the sense of I was able to, granted, there was ups and downs, smiles and frowns along the way. But ultimately, we're here, and that's what matters. It's the presence. Like, all right, so where do we go now? Yeah. So now, it's always going towards that intention and not swaying from that and trying to pick up what we can along the way. Granted, that's how we got here.
Exactly.
It's like, that's how we got here.
Yeah.
So this is not where we stop it.
Exactly. 100%.
And that's what I mean about the spirit.
But
This
is the stickiest, and I'm not talking stickiest as in it is problematic. I'm talking stickiest as in a lot of people will enter the workforce because we're in that, and then you're stuck because you have money to pay bills, you have all of these things. Like, you need this job to do a lot of the things that make us comfortable, and like, so we have houses over our heads, food, bills, all of that stuff. This thing here pays for it. So it's about finding a tactical exit strategy, which doesn't put you this much further behind.
Yeah.
But at some point, it feels like, for me anyway, and I can only speak from my own experience, and sometimes I've been like pausing, ego checking, and being like, okay, am I speaking on someone else's? In this instance, I can only talk about my own existence. I know I'm going to get to a point where I have to blow it up.
Yeah,
it's gonna have to.
Like, you know, it's funny because my mom used to say, like, not even used to. That's why sometimes when I get sick, I think, you know what? It's the universe telling me to slow down a minute, just to take a break. Because mom's like, don't burn out.
Yeah,
don't burn out. In terms of but I feel like the only way I can burn out is the corporate side. I don't mean no offense, because I'm grateful for it, but I feel like that's where I can see the burnout.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going back to me doing what I want, like all the extracurricular activities, because like, once again, I've been the kid. That's we spoke about this the other day, break school records, and then on another side of things, okay, maybe this is a slight flex, but I low-key, like GCSEs, I got the highest math grade in my class. So that's what I mean. Like, I was the kid, like, who's doing this? But then at the same time, getting told you can't come back for sixth one.
Why? Okay, another day.
I mean,
Ting.
Yeah, like one of the, so that's what I'm like, I was, and to be fair,
balanced. Yeah.
Like I was balanced in the sense that, to be fair, like, it's funny because, okay, this is a different subject, but actually, even during prom, I got like one of the teacher's worst enemies because I was not allowed.
That wasn't an award.
Yeah,
Are you talking that was an award?
Sixth form during our prom or
yeah, they do those novelty things.
I got that. Like that
teacher's worst enemy.
Yeah,
hilarious. Whoever signed off as like, that's a good thing that we'll include. I don't know whether shake your hand or
here's the thing.
punch your face.
And now, to be fair, for me, it's a handshake because it's like, I didn't create it. It's just there. Like you know, one of those things. You like really whenever you reflect, it's like, maybe was I wrong? Like, did I misjudge the situation? But for me to get that, it's like, there you go. There's your evidence. It's like my hypothesis was correct after all. Like, you don't like me.
No. They didn't just not like you. You were their worst enemy. Oh, ever. Do you know what?
No, to be fair, every time I bumped into the teacher in the hallway or whatever, we'd start switching words and everything. Like,
okay. So a bad dynamic with a really bad teacher. Like, at what point does it get to that level with student? You're a kid, innit?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
But yeah, no, but see.
Feel free to name drop that teacher.
No, I won't. I don't need to. I mean, I'm over it. And to be fair, it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Like, it's because I was just doing what I want. Because that's the thing. It's like, okay, he's actually decent at his grades. Yeah. But like, he's not listening to what we say, but then he still does it. But then, it's been.
I mean, school's just not for some people. It definitely wasn't my younger brother.
I low-key enjoyed it in the sense of, I feel like I understand the somewhat importance of it. Granted, if it was up to me, if I did get or pursue that journey of me living off what I want, I don't think I'd send my kid to school.
Neither do I, and I finesse school beyond all expectations. Like, I understood exactly what school was in terms of there's a game that you play.
That's what I mean.
You do is just a game of recall. I was head girl in school, and I didn't even ask for that at all. Like, there was a moment in time where you had to like apply to be like the head girl, and I just didn't do that. And then the person, like the deputy head, pulled me into the office and was like, do you want to do it? I was like, I didn't even, I know there's people that asked to do this. I didn't ask to do this.
like-
I niced all the teachers.
I would have
I
lost
spoke
all
to them
the
like it
votes.
was you.
I don't think I would have got a vote.
Yeah, I just understood how to do school. Like I did
Yeah.
extra GCSEs just because I was interested.
I did extra A levels.
An extra A levels.
Okay, so my like A levels. Yeah, actually, I didn't tell you what the A levels I did.
What did you do?
Yeah, I did ICT, biology, math, chemistry, and sports.
Ugh.
No, that's what you gave me.
I was waiting for a subject that could be like, oh, okay. Oh, mama, you need a brain for that kind of thing. Which is like, this is what fascinates me with your like everything you do that's creative now, because you do so much. One, you work impeccably hard. Not even hard. You just work a lot. Like you do a lot of things. You work a whole job where you're doing like big things, and then you'll come home and you'll do projects that are like also massive, like Mr. Can I name drop? Mr. Scruff,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. Like you just do so much things. You're editing all the time, and so like that. The fact that you're pursuing like design so well and like so hard is fascinating. When you come from like a really like you did maths. That's
It's
there's like a
solving.
left brain and there's a right brain in it. And I can't remember which one is like which in terms of like one is analytic, one is creative. I don't know, but like you seem
But
to
I feel
have
like-
the two of these things. Whereas like maths never made sense to me at all. Like I never like didn't work in my. I can't do that. Science was so hard. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
When you do like the practicals and you like make stuff happen, and we did something with a jelly bean.
Here's
jelly bean
Here's a
grew.
weird one. I wanted to I initially, when I was in school anyway, I thought, you know what, I think the path that makes sense is to do biomedical science, because I wanted to make my own drugs. I don't do drugs, but I just wanted to.
You were interested in it.
Yeah, I was interested in it. I just wanted to make my own sort of medicine of some sort. Like,
It's super creative, just on a slightly different tangent.
yeah, like that's what. So like coming back to it is that I just wanted to do like make my own thing, and then to be fair, I don't know. Have you ever seen this show Fringe?
No,
Okay.
sorry,
It's not going to make sense.
So try it.
Fringe is
Try
really
it.
good. But like, I just remember in that show, there's an episode whereby there was this scientist that he created a virus. Damn.
So you wanted to be a supervillain?
Not a villain, but like what I rated the most, and I feel like it actually happens today, is whenever you check all his victims, he left his mark in their DNA. Like the medicine was given them, it's almost like he would sign it off.
Okay.
I think things like that is cool.
Okay.
Like, no, I'm not talking about not the kid, not the victim's part. No, let's say to be fair, I think he made it for good reasons. I hope he did.
Okay.
But I just remember that like it was like you're leaving a mark.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I'm
yeah.
gonna start like doing weird things.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, like things like that. Just like I thought that's so creative to be able to do that. Like
It is. And there's a way of finding this like creative thread in everything we do as humans.
Yeah.
Because as soon as it becomes a problem that needs solving, you have to be creative to solve that problem. Otherwise, I don't know like what I don't know a job or career that doesn't require
because
some
creativity
form of
is kind of
everything. It's in everything.
problem solving.
I just tackled this beast from a much more like what made sense in my mind, obvious way. Like just in the way of like, okay, just do art design. Played a lot of instruments as a kid as well because that just fascinated me.
Yeah.
Like the simple
I
fact of
so
like
wanted to play instruments.
putting notes together. Like this, like you take a piano and you just have this like series of notes.
We had a piano at home. I did not
A real piano.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Like
I learned to play the piano and it just blew my mind the way that like that you can play all these notes individually and as soon as you put them together you make this whole symphony and you can make people feel certain emotions through tapping different keys. That's so cool. It was just so cool. So like I learned to read sheet music and this probably ties back into the creative like into like my own design journey because like I learned to read sheet music and it's one of the things that like as soon as I started learning music and playing like different types of instrument, my main thing was to learn the language of sheet music because that just looked like this beautiful assortment of like dots. And so the fact that I like being able to read that, I have such a massive interest in like visual communication.
That's
got to have been something
that's what I
like
struggle
peppered
with.
into it. Because that sheet, I was like, I'm making it my mission to be able to read it. I can teach you how to read. If that's, were you about to say that's something you're?
Yeah, no. Like
still to
I'm
this
saying,
day, you wanna know
like
that.
till this day, one of the things. Well, it's not even a regret. It's like it's one checkpoint I never ticked. Playing an instrument like properly.
I can teach you the piano if you want to. I bought a keyboard at like a little flea market the other day. £10 for a brand new Casio.
I'm on the flute. The flute just sounds. Yeah.
But have you been practicing? Like, is it?
I can't find a good tutorial on YouTube. It's so annoying.
Okay.
Okay, maybe.
Okay, well, maybe you just need to freestyle it. Unless you're learning
Oh
to
no,
play
no,
a
like,
specific thing.
oh no. Do 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 do. That's all I got. That's all. I hope that's it. Probably sounds terrible.
Okay.
But let me see.
I mean, maybe like Indian flute, Timbaland.
You know what? I was gonna mute it, but you know what? I actually I know the song. It's Russ flute song. I just want to start with that.
Okay, then just freestyle it.
Yeah.
Do you need a tutorial? Really question if you need a tutorial or not. If you need to read sheet music, like if you want to do it that way, you can go down this like a more academic route of music, which is like I'm going to learn everything about tempo, which we already know. If you have rhythm, I feel like you already understand that without needing a metronome and all that kind of stuff. Or sheet music.
Majority of things.
You can just guess at this.
Yeah, true.
That's why I failed at becoming like much more successful at piano, because I would read the sheet music once and me and my piano teacher we'd go through it. And then he always used to say this, but like I would just remember the song. So I would just play from memory. And like when you do piano exam, no, it would be on beat, like everything would be fine. But like when you do piano less, like when you do, you go in for your grades. So I got up to grade 3 in piano, which there's like 8 grades. I don't know if that's a flex or not.
I have photos of you playing piano.
I think it's for me.
Sorry.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But like the person who's doing the exam will like be keeping note and will turn the page for you. And I wasn't looking at the page at all. I was just playing because I remembered.
No, from memory,
the song. And that's not good.
Yeah, no,
come on.
I feel like if you lose one key, you can be like, damn, which one was it?
And then you have to, but then you weren't looking at the sheet music anymore. You were just pretending to, but really you're just looking around the room like, this is nice.
Rather than just like sort of dipping in and out and just like, like just waving with it.
So there's an academic way of like learning music, and I don't go down that route. So if you're trying to learn something, maybe forget the tutorial and just guess at keys.
Maybe. You know what? Maybe that's also down to conditioning. Even though majority of what I've learned is just by watching.
Listening
quite a lot. Yeah. Watching and listening, coming back to siblings and not having siblings. It's analyzing. I'm not doing that.
Interesting.
I'm not going there.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I guess that's been the creative journey, and now we're here. I don't know how we. Yeah, I thought we'd have a conversation about that. But yeah, it's been fun though. Well, not even been. It is fun so far.
Yeah.
And
I just learned things about your process just then that I didn't even, about your journey that I didn't even know. That was nice though. Yeah. And to be fair, here's a funny one. Like I can also sew. So yeah, I need to buy a new sewing machine as well. I want to use it more. Like I feel like, sometimes I feel like, you know what? Actually, maybe it's just for me. But I feel like sometimes it would be nice if we didn't get tired, or if we decided when we were tired. Wouldn't it be nice to just fall asleep and just wake up when necessary?
Like just hit a switch, like,
my goodness. Some people think the same way about food, probably you, but like, not with food. Like you could just take a pill and just be nourished. Oh my God, no, there's an art to cooking. So like,
no. I'm not on the pill. I'm not on the pill side. No.
Okay, some sort of shake.
Just give me a greenhouse with all sorts of fruit, all sorts of vegetables.
Oh, okay, so there's still an element of preparing the food, which is still like quite interesting.
I mean, preparing food is kind of therapeutic. But it's kind of like, it also comes back to sort of like reaping what you sow, and also understanding the process of doing things. Because if I was just taking a pill, No, like no. Sorry,
You said no.
certain frequencies wouldn't be reached.
Yeah.
And once again, it's like, I know, no, sorry, I'm trying to, sorry.
But the unplug to go to sleep, the press the button and just go to sleep. I would be so much money for that.
I think I'd be a lot of hours down.
Yeah, I feel like we're very aligned with that. I feel like anytime we talk about our sleep routine with the rest of the crew, we are the most closely synced with like, we will go to bed late and wake up really early.
Yeah,
just try and not. Whereas the
rest,
some of the other members of the team do like a lot of sleep, which makes sense.
Yeah, they do. They do. Okay, but here's the thing. I feel like there's levels to the homies. Some of them you can wake them up if the sun, like if there's nothing pressing. Some of them you can still wake them up. They'll get up and But some of them, if there's nothing pressing, they're like, nope, I am not getting up.
100%. Like to make a plan and be like, oh, okay, so like let's just we'll meet here at 9 and then we'll go here and here and here. If it's a weekend, that's just not a plan that I can see happening unless it's just you and I that are showing up to that. Really? And even then, we'll probably be. But
I think I'm
anema.
I think no. To be fair, the homies do pull up. Like I think they.
Yeah,
I think we do pull up, just not at that time.
We all
really
actually are very much free spirited.
To be fair, I was going to give you credit today. I was going to say you came technically on time.
Yeah, I was technically 10 minutes late, but on time.
Yeah, like that was on time. To me, I was like, damn.
No, because I got in the car and then the petrol was low, and I was like, oh goddamn, because I left at the perfect time to get here, perfectly on time. Right. So I had to fill petrol up, and then
because I don't think I've ever been. No, I don't think. None of us have ever been on time.
No, do you know, honestly, like, I can't believe we've started this conversation because the more I think about it, it's like, none of us are getting here on time. None of us are.
No, none of us ever actually just get there on time.
At all. But we all
I get there at my time. But here's a funny thing, though. Here's a coincidence. I feel like, even though the time that's set, we never necessarily make it, but for some reason, the frequencies, we always get there at the same time.
Yeah.
That's the weird part. It's like even now, whenever you came through at the right time in terms of everything was pretty much set up. It was the right time. And like that's what I mean. It's like sometimes it's just like
we're late,
but when you look at the bigger picture, it's actually perfect timing.
You remember we went to Liverpool a couple of weeks ago and we were like, yeah, we'll get there and we want to be there for the sun. Yeah. You wanted to shoot, so you wanted to be there in the daytime.
Mm-hmm. I do remember that.
We probably had 7 minutes of daytime left by the time we arrived there.
Yeah, but then at the same time, do you know what? I am grateful that it was nice, but I'm grateful of how it happened because there was a football game and it would have been annoying, and also there was that concert. So if it got there early, it would have been a bit of a pain trying to navigate throughout everything. Yeah. Because it would have been peak hours.
Yeah, that's very, very true. So what we're trying to say is that the homies always get there on.
Oh no, they're gonna pull up on time.
Like we've just circled back to Snoop. Snoop was late, but was he? We're all late, but were we?
On whose time? So you like him, by my time. So be grateful. And also things happen for a reason. Life happens. Going back to the cast, I couldn't make it today. It wasn't planned, but things happen, and maybe it's a good thing that he couldn't, in terms of maybe certain things needed to be worked out or certain things needed attention, and that's just part of life. And maybe we needed this conversation without a guest as well.
Maybe we did. Yeah. And if he came through, we would have needed that as well.
No.
Exactly. We just get what we need.
Yeah. So
we just get what we need.
Yeah. We get what we deserve.
Yeah.
We get what we earn. I don't know what sounds better.
What do we get? We'll figure that one out as well. But like, we get something.
Oh, I'm leaving something. I'm leaving something. But yeah, I don't.
Track of the week.
Oh, track of the week. Yeah, sorry. Oh yeah, it's Ross. Let me just find the name of the song. I think see if it's. I might no, it's not this song. Can I play it? No, I can't. No.
Pointless. It's just gonna
No,
sound
I want to
like
hear it. No, I want to hear it, but not for them. Oh, yeah, sorry. I just like the song. Sorry, your track of the week. Now I want to play it. Like, I'm like, oh.
Well, what's your track of the week?
Yeah, the flute song.
Okay, right.
Oh, you thought I was playing?
I thought you were gonna do some. I thought you were pulling out your phone to get something totally different on.
No.
The flute song track of the week.
Yeah.
Love that. Okay.
Like,
Maybe we can add a little snippet of the track here.
Are we allowed to though? Like, we might get into trouble. You can't do this and that. Next thing we've been shut down. Like, we didn't sample
Got me
anyone.
flute. I just maybe that's how we do track of the week. You just get the flute.
You know what? If I was good at it, that's dope. But because I'm really crap at it, I'm just.
I mean, I think if you take
my ego's just gonna get so
okay.
bruised. I will not want to come outside.
We will get there with this.
But yes,
there'll be an episode. Maybe it's in the hundreds of episodes.
Yeah, one day I'll just pull out the flute.
Yeah,
like, he's playing
111.
Yeah, and you know what? Piano, flute.
This whole podcast is just going to turn into like a concert. We're going to be the new Tiny Desk. I can see it happening now.
We can do that. I mean, we got homies that rap.
We do have everything to make that work.
Oh, gotta love the collective.
God, I love
Always show up on time. Evening conversation. But yeah, actually, no, that's a nice way to end the creative journey. Now we're speaking about future creations.
Track of the week. Oh, yeah. An old one for me, FKJ. Let me just get the actual name right. We Ain't Feeling Time, which is also nice.
Wow.
We Ain't Feeling Time.
Okay.
That is my track of the week, and I didn't realize how much that makes sense to the conversation we've just had.
Yeah.
I love that song so much. It's so good. Bloody stunning. Ultimate vibes. Went to go and see him in a concert. It was great.
Oh, sick.
It was very, very... He plays all the instruments as well. Mm-hmm. Like, he'll jump from, like, the keys to saxophone, and then he's on the bass, and then he's like... I
highly rate those people.
Yeah, do you know, it's just one human who's just like a bee, just going around.
It's just one of those people, it's like, you can do that.
Yeah.
Like, you did this.
Yeah, you should watch his... him and Tom Misch did a... have you heard of the Red Bull sets?
Yeah.
I'll show you after. There's like a set that they did together, and they just like hop around all the instruments, and they just make the most delicious track ever. I've killed that song now. Like, it's just, I over-listened to it in uni so much.
Yeah, you just reminded me of another artist, but I always mess up his name. And even if I try searching, I'm probably not going to find it. It's called Face Soul, something like that. I butchered it. Anyways, but
whose fault is that? Is that ours, or that's the artist's song? But like, you know, when you listen to a track and you just I can't listen. I need a year and a half out of listening to you.
Yeah, but
and then I'll come back.
See, he's sick because similar to the instruments, right? He will make. He's not using instruments, just his voice. So he's got different recorders, so he'll go to one and then make a certain sound, like maybe some sort of drum or humming or whatever.
Oh, nice.
Record it and loop it, and then go to another one, loop that, go to another one, loop that, do that, and then it's just singing over it. It's like, just your voice can do that.
That's so nice.
Like, I rate people like that.
100%.
It's like...
Prince showed me a song the other day by this, it's a Belfast artist. I cannot remember at all. Oh no, I'm doing this such a disservice. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. Oh no.
The funny thing is that we never find the song. It's like, so song of the week, next thing we just don't even know the songs. Like, what's the name of it?
I can't remember the artist that I'm thinking of. But I'm going to put it here.
We're going to find it. I'm
going to put it here.
Similar to
It's the most beautiful track I've heard for a long time. Shot like at this lake. And it's this guy doing the same thing that you're talking about, where he's just looping. He's just looping his own voice. And it's just so... And Prince has worked with him before on something.
It might be the same dude.
Are we thinking of the same person?
We probably might be. He's from Birmingham. I think he's from Birmingham. Or they met in Birmingham. Yeah, sorry. It might be the same person, you know.
Black guy?
Is he
Muslim?
Black? Yeah, he's Muslim for sure.
That's why he doesn't use his instruments, so he uses his voice to loop things.
Yeah.
Oh.
We might be talking about the same person. Prince, where is he when you need him?
I know.
He was there last week. But
can you view your YouTube listening history easily, is the question.
It should be.
If we have to cut this out, we cut this bit out, but I need to find it.
I'm curious if it's the same person. I'm going to start searching my dude.
I saved it. Okay. How do I find my saved? Okay, history, golden nuggets.
Wait a minute. Is his... Yeah, I found him.
Who's your person?
Faisal. I was right. Yeah.
Okay, let me just go to my golden nuggets playlist.
He is black.
He is black.
Has he got long hair?
Faisal is the same person. That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Close to you. Live is a live performance print show. That's incredible.
He's just too
so like I have a playlist on YouTube which is just called Golden Nuggets. Prince played it and I was immediately like put it on. Like I don't give a shit.
It's just
add it to the list.
Yeah.
Oof. Faisal.
Just too sick. Wow, as if we're talking about the same person.
You're a dream, love. Congratulations. Yeah. Incredible.
Sorry, but like, see, sometimes people like that. It's like, how do you find that?
What do you mean by find?
Like,
find that you have that skill, or find
find that you have that skill.
Oh, I don't know. I think you're like 4 years old.
Is it just by like just trying things?
You hit a note that you're like, it's godly that. And then you just, I don't know.
Maybe it's godly, or also it catches their attention. It's like, oh, I got attention from this.
How do you know if you? How
do you know what I mean?
It's reaffirmed by others.
Yeah,
but it has to be reaffirmed by self, doesn't it?
Well, self in terms of I'm going to go out there and do it,
and it has to make you feel a certain way. Because to go out and do it, if it felt like this was just long or this is just hard, it's probably not maybe for you. But like if it feels natural and it feels good, because Faisal, are we both butchering his name now? No,
I don't.
Faisal.
I feel like whenever Prince says it, it's got
it's got some rhythm to it.
Yeah, it's like there's some sort of understanding what it actually is. I hope.
But like Faisal, yeah.
I think it is. I feel like his real name is actually close to how you say that. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but I don't want to like try and guess what that name is without again just
butchering. Wow, we are butchering names for fun. Like. Because if it was an artist shout out, they'd be so mad at us. Be like, do you even know who we are?
You know what? Let's just go straight to.
I'm in the Google.
That's what I'm doing as well.
Oh, why am I typing?
Faisal. Yeah, his name is Faisal Salah.
There you go.
So Faisal.
Yeah, Faisal. Yeah. Dope name.
Dope name. Incredible artist.
Yo, dude, shout out. Even your name is dope.
And like the first thing that comes up is like there's like a colour show as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, he did the colours. He did the colours. I'm not gonna ruin it, but yeah, he's.
Yep.
You dope, Holmes.
Yeah, you're very, very good.
We started shouting out other people, then we ended up with someone else.
No.
So who was actually the track of the week?
Track of the week. We ain't got time. We ain't feeling time. FKJ. Plus the addition that both of us have had. Legend. Faisal, the live version of the thing he did.
Anything live,
my goodness.
It hits a spot. I'm not saying the other stuff doesn't. It's because I've checked out the live stuff.
Yeah.
So, nah. Yeah, shout out Faisal. And yeah, Ross, flute song. Flute songs, actually, I think I do what I want. There's quite a lot of doing what you want or what I want. And I love it. There's kind of a bar in there somewhere.
Okay, we'll listen to that.
Yeah. It's a vibey song. But yeah, actually, for the first time, we're actually going to end it properly and say thanks for watching, if you did watch, and if you're listening on whatever platform that may be, much appreciated. And we'll see you again soon. Peace.